When I first found out I was pregnant, it was an absolute shock because I still had implant in. And I didn't realise that I had it in for an extra year than I should have done. So when I came out of the family planning with a pregnancy test that said positive and gave it to me and Jamie sat there from 12 o'clock till 6 o'clock when they finished, just with numb faces. I couldn't tell my family because of stuff that have happened with my sister, so I couldn't tell them till I went to doctors, and then my mum saw me in the doctors and I wouldn't go near her, and then she put two and two together and realised I was pregnant. And then after them she was like, how are we going to tell everybody else? But we ended up doing it. Both me and my mum telling the whole family. I felt anxious about being a mum, but at the same time I didn't, because I've already been around children. I joined the Family Nurse Partnership because my sister had Louise at the beginning of her pregnancy, and I saw how much she did for my sister. I like everything about her. She's quirky, she can make me cry easily though, some days. She can, every time she comes, she makes Alex go absolutely giddy when she's coming. Edwina's been getting us into groups and getting him into like little play times, and then when Edwina comes, she plays with him. We've talked about everything from me and my son's dad splitting up, to me going back to college, to finding childcare, and being on board meetings, doing videoing and interviewing, and everything that I've done and that Edwina's set up has just been building my confidence every time. Yeah, it did make a big difference. Even if Alex is feeling poorly and doctors don't know really what's wrong with him, I can ring or text Edwina and she'll ring me back and tell me steps to go through in case I can't get him settled. But she even answers the phone sometimes when she's not supposed to. Not when she's not supposed to, but when she's in other people's meetings, she'll answer it because she knows if I've rung her more than 3 times, then she knows it's urgent and that I need to get in contact with her. My mum's more confident in me, but she's happy that Edwina's always there in case my mum can't answer questions. My mum stopped worrying that I was doing everything on my own and didn't have not enough support and people that could get me the information that I wanted. I definitely think with having the same person constantly, you do get a better relationship with them instead of seeing different people every time you go. If I didn't have a family nurse, I probably would have gone on to the hospital more, because I always worry about him. Because when he was 3 days old, he pooed blood, and I was absolutely scared. I rang my mum, she didn't know what to do, so I rang Edwina, and Edwina told me to get him into doctors or take him on to the hospital straight away. And that was when I got into more trusting Edwina as well. I definitely do trust Edwina so much that I've told her stuff that I've never told anybody. It's always helpful because then she knows more about me and knows how to deal with situations with me. Edwina really helped me put my head round everything that my son's dad was making me feel when just before we split up, and she went through steps of what I can do to make him know that I'm getting stressed and getting nervous, and that the breaking point is we split up, and it did actually finally come to that, but then we're now starting talking more and getting to know each other all over again. But even though we've got a little son, it feels like we have never met each other. Worst bit is definitely when you know that as soon as they turn 2, you're going to lose your family nurse that you've got to know for, well, basically nearly 3 years. Even my mum said that Edwina only sees Alex every 3 weeks now, but she could see that Edwina has got to care for Alex, and it's just going to be hard for us all. I think even all my family's not going to like when she goes. I'm most proud of that Edwina has got me into college, and now I'm fully qualified nail tech, and I've also won Student of the Year 2015 in Level 3 Nail Technology, and I've got a place for next year for beauty therapy. It's made me think, the reason why I went back to college was to make my son's future better. And I figured out with what I'm training to do, I can either go mobile or go into a salon, which means that I could still spend time with my son because I can be part-time. I've actually told people about Family Nurse Partnership and how much of a good job you actually do, and the fact that you just get one-on-one and you don't have to wait in a long queue of people and when you go down to doctor's surgeries, and you just get to see same face. For the first couple of months it's every week, and then after that it's every 2 weeks, and then after that it's every now and then. But the sad thing is when they turn 2 you go.